FIDE Master John Curtis, and today I'm going to do a revision. We all know about the Indian Masters. They're all coming through, all the Indian Masters and Grandmasters, and I thought to myself, chess school. But I thought, have I got the content? So today I'm going to look over my previous games against Indian players wearing the Indian flag, and I'm going down here and I'm going to see how I performed against them, and I'm going to show those on Chess School, right? So here we go. Here's our first game. We've got a game against Women's Candidate Master savethach. There we go. So we'll have a look at this game. And we've got 3 games against this Indian Candidate Master. I think it's a Women's Candidate Master. Yeah, WCM, that's Women's Candidate Master. God, it took me a long time to win the game. Women's Candidate Master savethach opened up with e4. I played c5. We've got Sicilian defence by black, e6, d4. C takes d, knight takes d4, knight f6 attacking the pawn. Bishop d3, a good developing move. a6. You can't push, a lot of people would push the pawn on the knight, but that's a trap because I play queen check and queen takes pawn check and I win a pawn. c4, but so the master sees that, the candidate master. So I play queen b6. I was just trying to get her to make a mistake. If she, for instance, if she plays bishop here, I can play bishop here or snaggle a pawn, and I want a knight to go back, and she plays knight back. It's the best move. So I played queen to c7. I moved back, and I thought, well, what am I doing next? Knight c3. I played b6. I didn't know what else to do. Bishop e3. She's developing well. This stage, white's got an advantage. d6 is played. I'm going to just try to hide behind my 4 pawns here and try to just get all my pieces working and then try to work out a win. White castles completes the development. I played knight b5 to d7. All white's pieces are getting ready for attack, so I've got to be very careful. Here comes the f4 pawn. This move here is really dangerous, this pawn here, because if I take the pawn, knight here might be played at a critical juncture. Anyway, bishop b7 I played, hoping that she doesn't play this move, which is very strong. She played rook c1, so I played bishop b7, got my pieces out. Finally, she's given me a little bit of time to connect my castles at the back. I need to castle though. Queen e1, again, I thought pawn here was very good, but queen e castles, queen g3. Now, in this position, white wants to, well, I've got to try to do something. I've got my knights blocking each other. Sometimes the 2 knights like that, if they can interfere with each other's movement. So, anyway, I didn't like that idea. So I played knight c5. I thought, I want to get rid of one of my knights. Knight takes knight, pawn takes back, and now white's just got a very strong game. f5 was played. I actually thought I played king h8 instead of f5. I wonder about this move, e5. This looked very dangerous. Looked very, very dangerous. But anyway, it wasn't played. Opponent played this move and f5. So I knew that if I take the pawn, bishop here, threatening checkmate. Oh, geez, that could hurt me. So I didn't like that idea. So I played king h8, and I thought, oh, please don't take the pawn. No. Queen h3 was played. This is a good move. There's a real threat here. Can you spot the threat in this position from the Women's Candidate Master, savethach? Well, I'll show you what the threat is. The threat is pawn here. It's a pawn sacrifice. But after pawn here, after pawn here, if captures, pawn takes pawn, and if you take back again, rook takes the knight, and the queen and the bishop will be checkmating on that square. Okay? So queen h3 is a big threat. So I can't allow pawn here, it wins, right? So I played e5. She played g4, and I thought, oh no. Oh, this is actually a really good game. I've just remembered it. This is a really good game because I had to defend the indefensible. Yeah, so in this position, white's got a fantastic attacking game. And really, black has got nothing, right? Black has got nothing, okay? So anyway, so I thought, well, she wants to play pawn here, so I better play knight to g8. So I play knight to g8, and I'm already planning to try to get a blockade somehow. At the time, I thought, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'll just respond to my opponent's move. g5, it looks so good. Anyway, so I played f6. So I thought, well, in this position here, I don't like moves like pawn here. Pawn here could be deadly. Pawn there could be really fraught with danger for me. So I thought, oh, I don't like that. So I thought I better play f6 while I still can. So I did that. Now my opponent played g6. I really think that what my opponent should have done is, if we go back to this position here, my opponent could have just played queen, say, here or here, followed by queen here with rook here, h4, h5, and then maybe doubled the rooks or something on this, tearing through the position. But after knight g8, g5, it might be premature. I played f6. My opponent plays g6. Now, well, you've got no choice here, have you? Checkmate threatened. And looks like I'm playing the black pieces here, and you would think, how on earth do you beat the women's candidate master from this position, the mighty player from India? Well, I played h6, it's forced. Now the big danger, I recognise the danger in this position, and I thought to myself, my God, look at this, knight here, knight there, knight here, and knight takes pawn wins. I thought, I'm dead. So I thought, I have to prepare a defence. And knight there was played, so I played rook f-file to b8. I moved my castle away. Why did I do that? Well, that's to put my bishop back here so I can hold those pawns on the dark squares. Knight f2 was played, correct. Bishop f8, and now I'm just in time to hold the position. Knight g4, and now I still have to be really, really careful. Got to be really careful in this position. Right, so bishop c8 was, bishop to c6 was played. Right, the reason why I played bishop here is I want to threaten her pawn. She's got 27 seconds, and maybe if she can't attack me, or maybe I can attack her. So she played rook c2. So I played a5. I thought, well, I've got the king side all blocked up, so maybe I can open things up on the queen side while she's under time trouble. She played rook f3. I've got to be careful of big sacrifices here. Rook b7 I played to protect my position along here. Queen g2 was played. This doesn't look like the right way to do it. Rook a-file to b8. Now I'm putting pressure on the pawns, and she played b3. Well, that's not a4. I'm in. I'm in with like Flynn, a4. Rook h3 was played, and now I think she's trying to make me think that there's an attack there. So I'm not impressed. So I played a takes b3, rook takes b3, and now she thought, oh, he doesn't believe me. So she played rook to d2 to protect her bishop. So I just took the bishop off, and she took back, so I gave her a check. She said, oh my God, what do I do now? I could lose my queen. She moved the king up. She didn't want to lose the queen. So I thought, I'll give her another check. And at this stage, we're just causing trouble. Rook to d2 was played. So I took the rook off. The bishop takes back. I just played queen to b7. So the idea is to come in here, but also to threaten the pawn. Move the rook back, and now you can see once the rook moves back, there's no more pressure on this pawn. So I played queen to b2, just putting out pressure on the bishop, pinning that. My opponent played king e2 there, in time trouble here. Queen c2, I want to play queen takes pawn check now. Can't be saved. Rook c3, she saved it. Oh dear. So I played queen e4 check. I thought, well, perhaps I can swap off all the pieces now because I've got some really strong pawn wins. Queen takes e4, bishop takes e4, and now knight to e3. A good move because it protects that pawn. But I've got knight e7, and my idea is to capture this pawn. Rook a3, she wants to pin me. I play knight takes f5. I'm not frightened because the bishop can't get down here to help the rook with the pin against the bishop. Takes the knight. I played bishop takes f5, but now I'm on this pawn. Rook a8, she thought, I'll go for it. King g8, I protected it. And now rook to d8, right, threatening nothing. So I played bishop takes g6. My opponent played bishop to there. My opponent's idea is bishop here and bishop takes pawn. But before my opponent can do that, I play king f7. And now my king is not pinned by the castle anymore. Bishop c7, she wants to attack me. But I play bishop e7. And now she's facing the loss of her rook. And she says, oh, I don't like that. So she ran away. So I moved the king up, and now all my pawns are nice and safe. Now I think the best move in the position for white would be rook here, threatening that pawn. But it wasn't played. Rook a6 was played. This is a mistake. So now I can play f5 and push my pawns. King went to e3, and I thought, well, you're walking into pawn moves, check, king f3, running into time trouble with 4.3 seconds on the clock is the women's candidate master, savethach. Bishop h5 check, king f2, time to push the pawns. Rook a3, desperate to get back. Here comes e4, we've got 3 passed pawns coming. And now it's just a matter of time. Bishop b6, doing nothing. Bishop f6, we're coming in with a big giant fat check. Bishop c7, bishop d4 check. I'm going for the king. I'm king hunting. King f1. I played e3. My opponent played bishop a5, desperate to stop the pawn on that square. Bishop a5. I played f3. My opponent plays bishop e1. So in this position, we play checkmate. That's right. You can see the bishop covers the square here, and the 2 pawns are connected. So once we got out of that defensive position, we won the game. Reminds me of a game that Magnus Carlsen played once. However, we won't talk about that now. We're going to go back into game history because we're looking at other games that we've played to stop the Indian onslaught. I played all of this game one here. I played sandeepg, and I played at 95% accuracy. And how did I go against this up-and-coming Indian master, Sandeepg, his name is, from India. It's rated 2009. So we played the move b3, d5 was played, bishop b2, c6 is played. I thought, well, e3. I want to try to control this square here, right? Students, chess students, grasshoppers. E6 is played. I played f4. F5 is played. And I thought, well, knight f3. I'm still got control of this square all over the place with my pieces. Knight f6, bishop e2, bishop d6. It's a 3-minute game with 2-second increments. A castle, black castle. I thought, what do I do here? It's very, very slow when you play knight here. The knight can't go there. If you play pawn here, you've always got to watch out for knight here and knight takes pawn. And I thought to myself, I know what I'll do. I'll just put the knight in there and try to confuse my opponent. And I knew my opponent would not like to take the knight off. So bishop d7 was played. Not a good move, I don't think. It's not a bad move, but not a good move. I thought knight here was better. d3 was played. Bishop e8. I can understand what the plan is. Bishop to activate the bishop with bishop h4, but you can't activate it because I've got my bishop there. Knight to d2, I'm developing my pieces. Knight b5 to d7. So now I play knight here. So I've given my opponent the chance to play bishop h5. That's right. But now I play the move knight takes d7. The reason being, if the queen takes, I can play knight hits queen. Right? Knight takes. Correct. So I played knight g5. Now I'm threatening this pawn. I thought I might confuse my opponent, but my opponent got rid of the bad bishop. Good move. So I recapture with the queen. And now we'd have to assess the position as equal. Queen to e7. Perhaps it's even better for the black pieces. Played queen h5. I thought I'll try to confuse my opponent with a checkmate. That's right. This is checkmate here. Examine all checks and examine all captures. h6 was played, so I just went back, knight f3. Now, knight f6 was played chasing my queen. I thought, well, my queen's badly placed. I'll just put my queen in here. Okay. Queen went f7. Good move, Australia. Queen takes f7. Rook takes f7. And now the position is equal. Equal's about equal. Rook takes f7. Knight e5 I played. My opponent took the knight. I think this is a mistake. It would have been better in this position to play a move like rook here and knight here and chasing the knight away. Okay, so knight e5, bishop takes e5, bishop, f takes e5. I took with a pawn. I thought, oh, maybe I'll get some scope. I might be able to get my bishop on d6 and harass the castles. Knight d7, because it's blitz chess, isn't it? 2 minutes 39 seconds for sandeepg. c4 is played. I just need to activate my pawns, try to get some open lines for my castles. The bishop can't win the game by itself, and in this type of position, a simple move like knight here is very, very difficult for me to do anything. Knight here, for instance, is a good move too. So black's got a great game. Rook e8's played. I played c takes d5, e takes. Now, I thought, you beauty, this pawn is a passed pawn, a passed connected pawn. Black could not ask for more. And now you can see the pawns are connected. Knight f8. This is a great move by black to get a blockade. And with the knight sitting on e6, black should not lose. If anything, black might win. I played b4 to confuse my opponent. My opponent played a6. So I thought, no, a4, I've got to do a minority attack on the queen side. I cannot win on the king side after knight e6. Knight e6 is played. Great move. Well played, sandeepg. I played g3 to prevent this move. g5 is played. I played b5. It's time to sacrifice a pawn for activity, and my idea is if pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn. I've got rook here, and I'm going to collect one of those. A takes b5, a takes b5, f4. Now this is a really forward-thinking move. However, it's given me time to attack. So I played rook a7. Now you might say, oh, but why didn't you take the pawn first, then move the rook down? Well, it doesn't do enough. Here, in this position, if pawn takes pawn, I can play rook takes rook. And if king takes, then rook takes pawn check, and I've got a pass pawn. Right, so that's the little trick that we set up. Rook e7 is played. Good move. So I played b takes c6. I thought I'd open up takes. And I know that if you want to win these positions, you have to get rid of one of the castles. Otherwise, you just can't win these positions. Not with the two castles, but with one castle on the board, you can win. Not only that, I'm displacing one castle, get it off the F file, protecting this pawn. So I play rook takes e7, rook captures e7, g takes f4, recaptures, e takes f4, and now c5. In this position, black is desperate to try to get a blockade in the game to these two rampaging pawns. But I played f5. I didn't worry about my opponent winning a pawn. Knight takes d4. I took back. E takes d4, and now I played the move e6. Great move, because you can't. Ideally, if black could get the king here, black's fine, but black can't get the king in there, right? Because if he plays king here, pawn checks will win the rook. So he's got a real problem. So he played rook a7. He wanted to activate his rook. He's hoping for me to play a bad move or something. I don't know why I would play a bad move, but I played f6. Now the correct move in this position is probably rook here. Rook there, right? It's probably the correct move. However, I think the position's lost anyway. But that's probably the correct move. Rook there. Oh no, pawn checks. Oh, you can't even do that. Oh, hold on, wait a second. f6, king f8. You played. So after f6, you can't play rook here, because if you play rook there, pawn check wins. Right, rook there, pawn check, king here, pawn check, takes, and queen. So yes, at this stage, my illustrious opponent, sandeepg, 2009, is in big trouble. So c takes d4, e6, bishop rook takes a7, f6, king to f8. We just thought, I know what we'll do. We'll activate our rook. We will threaten checkmate. He played rook a5, rook a6. He finally wanted to attack the pawns. Not enough time though. That's checkmate, and that's how we beat sandeepg. So it's we've got candidate master, women's candidate master beaten, and sandeepg. Let's go back and have a look and see if there's any other games against the mighty India for our chess school visitations and things. Game history, we're looking back. Okay, so we go back. I've seen the game against the women's FIDE master, and we played well against her. Which game did I show you? Here we go. I showed you this game. I played 85% accuracy there. Which game did I show you? Oh, I showed you the one where I finally mated with the bishops. This one's a good one. We'll show you this one. Okay. All right then. So again, we're playing women's candidate master, savethach. And this particular game, e4, the women's candidate master, savethach, is from India, is playing the white pieces. It's a king's pawn opening. We play e5. We played the Sicilian. You might remember last time we got a bad position. We had to hold on by the hair of our chinny chin chin and do a major fight back with a pawn storm. Knight f3 is played, attacking my central pawn. Knight c6, just defending that central pawn. d4, great move, developing the bishop. Now white's got the ideal position. He takes d4, knight takes d4, queen to h4. This is a bullshit move, right? It's not actually a good move that you should play against any master. But I thought I'll just test it, just see how good she is. Anyway, she played knight to c3. In this position, I actually like knight here. I like knight here as a move. Right, knight there is a good move. But knight c3 is also good. Okay, so knight c3. Bishop to b4, I pin that knight. Now the other knight moves across, threatening knight takes pawn check. Right. Anyway, so I could play queen takes pawn check in this position, but after bishop to e2, I'm struggling, right? And if I take the g pawn, bishop to f3 wins because I can't stop knight takes pawn check. So I thought I'll play something different, just try to confuse my opponent. So I played King D8. And you might say, oh, but you're moving your king so early in the opening, John. Well, it's all about an illusion. An illusion. The game's an illusion. And what I'm really hoping for in the position is a quick A6, chase this knight away. And if I can get my rook to E8 where my king was there, I've got pressure on the white king. And my A3's played, good move. So I took a pawn with check, a bit brave of me. The bishop went to E2, great move. Bishop takes C3, knight takes C3. Okay. Right, so I don't know why knight takes C3 is played. I think the knight was actually better on this square, but maybe pawn takes is a better move. Queen takes G2. I thought I'll take the pawn and confuse my opponent because in this position my opponent can't castle. Bishop to F3 was played. I moved to Queen G6. Bishop to F4. Now the pawn's threatened, but the knight's not here to do the double attack. Hence, we play knight F6 and develop a piece. We want to give a quick check. Knight B5 is played, and my opponent wants to come here and take a big pawn off with check and get a marvellous game. So I played rook E8 check. My opponent played king to D2, and I thought, you beauty, I like it, but got to play knight to E5 I played. I want to block this attack off to this pawn. King C1 was played, and here I played queen to F5. Just creeping up a little bit on this bishop. Bishop G3 was played. Well, the problem with that move is very simple, and that is I'm going to take this off. Now, the best move in this position is queen takes queen. Right? But the women's candidate master's feeling a bit gingerly, and she played queen F1. She thought, oh no, but look at the king now with the castle in the corner. It's pathetic. D6 was played, and now I've just protected all my weaknesses. B3 is played by my opponent. Bishop F5 attacking the C2 square. King to B2, trying to develop the pieces. And it's a good idea too. Knight to E4, very simple move. Idea is get rid of that rotten bishop. Rook D1, the pieces are starting to get a bit active. So I played knight takes G3 because I thought, well, if you take with this pawn, I'll change queens and you'll never checkmate me. H takes G3. I played queen E4. I thought, well, let's put some pressure on the opponent with queen takes pawn check. Rook to D2 is played. I played A6. Knight, go away. Rook H4 was played attacking my queen. I played queen to C6 attacking the knight. Knight D4 attacking two pieces. Excellent move. Queen to D7. Queen to D1. Still trying to get some sort of attack. Bishop G6. Everything is all held. Knight to E2. And now it's in this position. I play knight F3. I'm attacking two castles. So the material is the advantage is getting too strong. Rook takes D2. So I thought, well, I can even take this dangerous knight because I've got so many pieces. King to C8 was played after rook takes. Queen to E1. I thought, well, I can play B6. Just get my king out. Rook to E7 is played. Queen C6 is good. Rook E8 check. King B7. Rook E2 does not want to change castles. But because if you change castles, right, in that position, rook takes rook, king takes rook, I've still got the threat down here. And do you know that in this position I'll show you, king b7, rook e2 is the correct move. Because after king b7, if you play rook takes rook, king takes rook, you've got to defend the pawn, queen here. I just play queen takes pawn check. Queen takes, bishop takes, we have a one endgame after king takes. Black's got 7 pawns and white's only got 4, dead lost. So the correct move was the move that was played. Rook e7, queen c6, rook e8, king b7, and then rook e2. Avoiding the exchange is the correct move. f6 is played. Queen to d2, rook e8. That's why I played f6. So my bishop coordinates with that square. Rook takes e8, bishop takes, queen to f4 is played. I played bishop g6 and I'm back on this pawn. Queen d2 is played, and now if I want to win, I can just play queen takes pawn check. But I didn't do it, but queen takes pawn check is probably the easiest way to win. I played a5, black played c4, and I thought, well, that's it, got you, baby. I'm going to attack your base pawn to your little tiny pawn chain, and it should win very easily. Queen e3 is played. A takes b3. Queen to e7, I don't know what that's for. So I took a pawn, and now after queen takes g7, well, queen c2 check, my opponent resigned. For king here, it is checkmate there, and I could even deliver a double checkmate. Double checkmate. Where's the double checkmate, John? Well, pawn check, king here, double checkmate. There we go. And with that, we'll go back. We're going back into the game history. We're looking for another. Well, we've seen two players now from India. Let's see if we can find another one. I'm looking for the Indian flag. Maybe one of the players from India will beat me and give me a hiding. I don't know. This is not planned by me. This stream is not planned. It's on the run. This stream. There we go. Right. So here we go. We're going down here. I'm looking for a player from India. All the opponents that I've got from India that have challenged me. I've got one. Looks like I'm playing Chaturang. Here he is. Playing Chaturang. He's 2092 his rating. And, well, unfortunately, he too falls to the FIDE Master. This is a challenge to Gukesh and all the other Indian players to come along and give me a hiding, right? Because obviously you've thrown a lot of your best players at me, and India's not scoring well against Australia here, really. Okay, so I did say game history. Hold on, I'm going to go back here. I have to go back here to this one, round 2, page 2, and I found a player from India, didn't I? I thought I found a player from India. Oh, Chaturang. Here we are. Right. Okay. Rightio. Let's have a look. D4. Okay, so here we are. In this game, Chaturang has the white pieces. Let's see how he uses his white pieces. We're in Chess School, and we're reviewing all the games that we recently played in the last week or so against the Indian contingent. Knight f6, c4, c5 is played, and the whole idea here is to counter-attack the centre. d5 is chosen. I played b5. I thought I'll be a bit adventurous and I'll play the, what do you call it? Yeah, you know who used to play this? Sean Brown. That's right. It's the Volga Gambit, also known as the Benko Gambit. Knight c3. And then I thought, well, most good players take the pawn. So I'll push it. And move back, knight to a4. So I thought, well, got a knight on the side of the board. I like that. Played d6. b3 is played. Played g6. I thought, well, I'm going to challenge this diagonal as quickly as I can. Bishop b2 is played. I thought another good move would have been pawn there maybe. Bishop g7, e4 is played, castled, bishop d3 is played, and now notice black has already castled, and I thought to myself, how can I take advantage of this position? Well, this knight can't go back. I thought I'd like to take that knight off, so I played bishop d7 and rip off the knight. Good move here would be pawn here. Pawn there would be an interesting variation, to say the least. Pawn there, but I probably would have played knight back here. F4 is played, so I took the knight. B takes back. I put queen a5. And you look at the position, you just think, well, am I threatening a check or not? Well, I don't think I am. But my opponent's, it's a bit scary. It's very, very dicey, this position, very dicey. But black's pawn structure doesn't look good here. Black's immediate threat would be knight here, knight there, and knight takes pawn, right? So that's our threat. Queen to b3 is played, e6 is played. I thought, well, I'll try to just come up the middle. This is not a good move, not recommended. Knight to f3 is played, takes the pawn, takes back with the, allowing rook checks. Are you kidding? King f2 is played. I played a bad move here. I did, I played a bad move. The correct move in the position is knight here with the idea of knight there. And black has got a good game. So, but I didn't. I gave a check. It's a bad move. King g3! Exclamation mark! My opponent, Chaturang 2023, attacks the knight. And then you haven't got much choice here. You're suddenly a bit vulnerable. So I played f5 because I was, frankly, a little bit worried. Bishop takes g7 is played. King takes g7. And now rook h-file to e1. This is really dangerous. My opponent's causing trouble. Played knight d7 to complete my development, to connect the castles. I've always noticed that motif in the chess games I play, where connecting the castles is really important. Knight g5 is, look at this, knight coming in here with check. It's frightening. So I played knight f8. So now if the knight comes in, I can take it off. But there are problems. h3 is played. This knight's attacked. Knight f6. Queen b2 is played. Offers me a pawn, but pins the knight, right? So I took the pawn off. I thought, I hope to get that pawn. King to f2 is played. I don't know why you would play a move like that. But I played the rook takes e1, not a good move. Rook takes e1, and then I played rook e8. Because my rook and queen are combining here, I thought, I'll try. Rook takes e8, queen takes e8, and now suddenly Seymour. Well, it's not so bad for black now. G4 is played, and I thought, oh, this is looking dangerous. If this pawn could come here, it wins a piece. And I thought, oh, how do I stop that? So I played h6 to chase the knight away. This is not a good move. Don't try it at home. It's not a good move. Knight to e6, check was played. Bad move. Knight here is winning. Knight there is basically winning the game. Knight there. It's a powerful move. So knight here is winning for white. But my opponent played knight check. Knight takes e6, d takes e6. And now we play f takes g4. The pawn took back. Now I play queen takes e6. I can't save the piece. g5. It's a terrible thing, but you can't save it. So I took the pawn off, takes back, and I played a5. My plan is just basically try to push pawns. Queen takes f6 was played. My opponent thought that this is going to be a walk in the park. It's not that easy. Black's got 5 pawns. So I played queen takes f6, g takes f6, king takes f6. King f3 is played, and now it's really important to position your king and show the power of the king. So I played king e5. I'm giving this pawn away to attack this pawn, but to also penetrate key squares. Bishop takes g6, king d4, and suddenly black is winning. Bishop f7 was played, which is a logical move to protect the pawn. I play a4 because the king is outside of Carlsen's rule of the square. So if you try to get back, say you try to get back with king here, pawn takes pawn here, and you can't stop the queen, right? So king e2 was played, b3, Carlsen's rule of the square, you're not in the box, a3, and now b2, you cannot stop the queen without losing everything. Bishop g, good move. King takes c4, king to d2, just desperately trying to get in there. King to b3, making sure we hold everything. Bishop f7 check, it's a good idea. We play, but we don't take the pawn. You could take the pawn, but we don't take the pawn because we're threatening a queen here. It's got to be stopped. So we play c4. Right, c4. Now the only move is bishop back, and then if the bishop goes back, we push more pawns, don't we? Okay, so bishop g6 is played. We play d5. Bishop b1 is played, and now d4. And as you can see, we're just choking our opponent to death. Bishop to c2 check is played. Now we can take the pawn. But do we take a pawn? No, we play king here. Reason why, we're going to make a queen. We're going to promote a pawn. Bishop b1 check is played, so we take it off, and that's the end of the game. So that's how we beat Chaturang 2085. So let's go back and have a look at game history. Are there any other Indian games, games against India we can show you? All right, then we're looking for the Indian flag representing the players from India. I'm looking for the Indian flag on the games. Okay, I can't see any there. Oh, here we are. I've got a game against apurbahansda. Well, he's rated 823. That's not very nice. But he's from India. So should we show it? No, we won't embarrass him. What we could do, yeah, we'll show him. We'll show it. I'll show the game. It was a 5 minute plus 5 seconds increment game. And we might leave it at that after this game because this is how in chess school you can beat beginners. Right? Okay, so my rating 2162, and we've got to find the guy again now because Duffer Dog lost the position. I lost the position. Okay, so I've got to go back in the search. I think it was on game 4. It was on 4. It wasn't on 5, was it? India. Where's India? I'm going to show you a game against India. It's got to be India because it's Australia versus India. That's our theme today. I was even thinking of Australia versus UK. But I'm just grabbing all the players from India. And the only one I lost was probably not even Indian. He was a chess cheat, I think. Okay, so we'll go this way. We'll go this way. It was on, must have been on 3. Okay, where are you, Mr. Chaturanga? I'll find him. You can't hide from me. You can't hide. You can't hide. There he is. Got him. He played at 65.7% accuracy. And I thought, oh, maybe he's using an engine. Because I don't know. So, but I thought, well, let's have a look at the opening. So we're playing with the white pieces, Magician, named after Mikhail Tal. I'm playing the white pieces, and Apurbahansda, rated 823, is playing the black pieces in a chess tournament. And the chess tournament is called the I Haven't a Silver Nickel to Spare Open, I think. Anyway, the tournament was named after Nickel City Chess. There's a chess player on chess.com. His name is Nickel City Chess. Comes into the chess stream on Twitch TV. And so we started a tournament. And the tournament was the I Haven't a Silver Nickel to Spare Open. D4, D5 is played, C4, Knight F6, and now pawn takes pawn. Queen takes, Knight C3 attacks the Queen. Queen went to A5, so obviously Apurbahansda knows a bit about theory. I played Bishop D2. I thought I'll play something a little bit unusual and try to get my opponent out of the books, right, out of the theory. And I'll even offer him a pawn for development. Played Queen B6. He's attacking 2 pawns. So if he was using a chess engine where the Queen comes out early, you know, there's a chess program where the Queen comes out early and starts trying to take everything off and show dominance and grab a few pieces here and there. So I thought I'll develop a knight, and I thought, hello, I might be up against a chess engine here. Queen takes B2 is played. And now in this position, White's got a lot of development, a lot of superior development. I played E4. My opponent played Bishop G4. And now I play this move. I expected, after E4, I saw that my opponent can play here. But I thought, oh, if he does, rook to B1, I'll attack his queen and his pawn. And guess what? He walked straight into it. So Bishop G4, rook to B1. He played queen to A3. And now I thought, I can play rook takes pawn. I thought, yeah, but examine all checks, examine all captures, and if you can see a good move, look for a better one. I thought, I've got 5 minutes on my clock. So I found the move better than rook takes pawn. Yeah, better than rook takes pawn. And the move was knight here. Because he's moved his queen so many times in the opening, I'm threatening knight takes pawn, check. Right, and I'm threatening the queen, right? And the queen can't come back here to defend the pawn because bishop takes queen. Similarly, the queen can't go here to defend the pawn because the knight takes queen with check. Anyway, he played bishop takes F3. Good try, because if I take with the queen, he can actually play. Queen takes pawn and get a counter attack. So I played G takes F3, which protects the pawn, and I've still left with all the wonderful threats. He played Queen takes A2. I played Knight check. I played King D7. I played Knight takes A8. Now I'm threatening Rook takes pawn check. He played B6 to stop it. And here we do a piece count, right? Quick piece count. I've got 2 castles, 2 bishops and a knight. So it's 2 castles and 3 minor pieces. And when we look at the board, he's got 1 castle and 3 minor pieces. So White is winning. He's got 2 pawns for the castle, but it's just not enough. And they're not advanced enough to be of any threat. So we play Rook C1. Why do we play Rook C1? Well, as we always say in chess school, if you see the open file, more often than not, if you take control of the open file, you will have a big advantage. You play knight to c6 to prevent rook checks and bishop there, I suppose. But I'll play bishop b5. I am now threatening bishop takes knight check. Not good for him, I can assure you. Played queen e6. So I thought to myself, I could take his knight and win his queen. However, let's put more pressure on. So I play Queen A4. I'm now threatening Queen takes pawn check. And I'm threatening Bishop takes knight check as well. And I'm threatening Rook takes knight as well. And I'm threatening pawn here as well. He played Knight E8. So I played D5 and attacked the Queen. Why not? You're attacking the whole house. You played Queen to D6. So I played Queen takes pawn check. Still, we don't take the knight. But the king is trapped. It can't come out, you see. So we're after the king. Played Knight C7. So we played Rook takes C6. Now we're attacking his Queen. He played Queen to C6. And it's in this position we found a very nice move. And the nice move that we found was not take the Queen. It's examined not just all checks, but all captures. But there is another check. We've got pawn check, we've got bishop check. There's one other check. Can you see the other check in this position? If you said knight takes pawn check, you're correct. But the correct check is Queen takes knight check. Now he can't take with the Queen because he puts himself in check to the bishop. See, the bishop's checking him. So now he's only got one move, king here. So do you take the Queen? No, leave it there. You don't do that. You just play Queen check here. And again, he still can't take the Queen because of the bishop. And that's checkmate. So it's not always important to take the material when you've got a mating attack. And that's our lesson from Chess School, okay? So until our next video, can you please give the video the thumbs up? Would appreciate it. And tell your friends about the channel, FM John Curtis Chess. And if you want to make a donation to my PayPal, the link is in the video description, right, to my PayPal. Several people donate money from time to time, and I use the money to, in a healthy way, to try to buy medicine to alleviate my cancer. My idea is to beat cancer, and if I beat the cancer, I will create a video for all the thousands of people all over the world that are suffering from cancer. So that's my intention. I'd like to cure cancer. I've got cancer in my spine, in my shoulders, and in my left chest. And the doctors said they can't cure me. So it's my aim to try to cure myself. Okay? And we featured India. It's funny featuring India on the channel, because where do I get my medicine that I'm treating myself with? I get it from India Mart. There we go. I'm not plugging India Mart, but I've met some lovely Indian people on India Mart. So if I'm sourcing certain medicines, then I'm getting really great service from the wonderful people in India. It's a beautiful country, very spiritual, and the people always got they always got your back, so to speak. My son runs a company. He runs Lana Software, Lana Software. And if you're a trader, you might want to check out Lana Software. But I don't get any money from him. He's too tight. No, I'm only joking. But he runs Lana Software, Lana Software. And his name's John Curtis as well. And his top guy in the company is in India, right? And he's a really nice man. And my son looks after him, pays him well, and they've become really good friends. So I love everything about India, okay? There we go. Right, I'm about to go now, so I'm going to say goodbye from me, and goodbye from our chess school head coach, Grandmaster Teddy. There we go. Teddy, say a few words. Hello, goodbye. No, that's not good enough, Teddy. All right then. Well, I've been watching the video and I think it's very instructive, and I'd like to thank everybody for coming into chess school. You did well, Teddy. There you go. So Teddy did well. With that, we're going to end the video. Goodbye from me, goodbye from Grandmaster Teddy, and until next time, keep chessing.